Good afternoon. Today we are going to look at the vocabulary for family relationships. Let's start with our family tree. This is called a family tree. Where do you stand on the family tree? Here. This is you. Okay, let's get started and let's look at number 1 and 2. So number 1 and 2, these people here, these are your parents. The female parent is your mother, and the male parent is your father. Your mother and your father are your parents. They are the people who came before you. Number 3 and 4, these are your grandparents. Number 3, the male, that is your father's father, or your mother's mother, is your grandfather. And number 4, the female, that is your mother's mother or your father's mother, that's your grandmother. Your grandmother and your grandfather are your grandparents. Now let's look at 5 and 6. These people, number 5 and 6, okay? This is your mother and your father's daughter and son. Your mother's daughter is your sister, okay? And your father and your mother's son is your brother. Your sister and your brother are your siblings. That is your brother and sister. All right, now let's look at 7 and 8. Number 7 and 8, okay? 7 is your child. This is your daughter. Your female child is called a daughter, and your male child is called your son. Your daughter and your son are called your children. All right, now let's look at number 9. Number 9. Well, number 9 is difficult, okay? This is your spouse. It's the person you married. If your spouse is a man, we call him your husband. If your spouse is a woman, we call her your wife. We call her your wife, okay? And your husband or your wife is called your spouse. Now let's look at 5 and now let's look at number 10. Okay, number 10 and 11. Your father's brother is your uncle, and your father's sister is your aunt. Okay, this is your uncle and your aunt and uncle. Okay, number 12. Your aunt married a man. He is your uncle. This is not actually an actual title, but you can use uncle or aunt to refer to your mother's or your father's brother or sister's husband, wife, their spouse, okay? You call them uncle or aunt, okay? Number 13, your aunt and your uncle had a child. They are your cousin. A cousin can be both man or woman. So a male cousin is a cousin and a female cousin is a cousin. Okay, now let's look at number 14. Your sister got married. Her husband is your brother-in-law. Okay, and all relations through your wife or through your husband will be your in-laws. So your husband's family is your in-laws, and your wife's family is your in-laws. So your wife's sister, your sister-in-law, your husband's brother, your brother-in-law. Okay, your sister and your brother-in-law had children. Okay, their daughter is your niece, and their son is your nephew. And this concludes the family tree. I hope that you like this presentation. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, please email me. And thank you so much for watching. Please have a wonderful rest of your day.